Yeah, finally back with a boxing prediction video. Don't pay attention to my hair, it's just an accident. Yeah, so finally, this upcoming weekend we got some fights really worth talking about and covering. And first one of them is that I will be doing, let's say, is Jermall Charlo versus Juan Macias Montiel. Yeah, so Jermall Charlo is pretty much like Bernard Hopkins at 160. He is willing to fight anyone they tell him to WBC. So I don't know who this guy is. He doesn't have a really good record, I would say. Even though all of his wins so far are by knockout, 22 of them. But he's got also 4 losses and one of them by knockout, which was against Mungia. That's no shame, of course, because Mungia is one of the best right now at 160. But yeah, in his last fight, this guy Macias Montiel knocked out James Kirkland in 1 round, but that doesn't really say much because Kirkland has been really damaged goods for several years now. Alright, so this guy is 6'1", so he's actually a little bit taller an inch than Charlo, so that's alright. I wouldn't have been satisfied if he was a lot shorter like that guy Brandon Adams was. He's got 74-inch reach, and so slight reach advantage and a slight height advantage. He's also, how old is he? He's 27, so he's also 4 years younger than Charlo. Alright, Jermall Charlo, the Hitman. Well, I really can't see any other result but a dominant victory by Jermall Charlo, because simply he seems to be at least a class above this guy Montiel, if not 2 classes. So I believe, yeah, I believe he will probably stop this guy Montiel within, like, I don't know, 8 or 9 or 10 rounds, something like that. Jermall. And then hopefully he can again take on someone really worth fighting, like, I don't know, Mungia, for instance, or, yeah. So Jermall Charlo to win. Most likely by stoppage, maybe on points. Yeah, and I think this guy will at least last for like 6 rounds, most likely 6 or 7. Alright, then the other fight, this one was really good. Teofimo Lopez versus George Kambosos Jr. Yeah, so Teofimo is defending his lightweight crown. Is now, of course, has 3 of the major 4 belts: WBA, IBF, and WBO. So he's still, both guys are young, they are, but Teofimo is 5 years younger. He's 23. And George Kambosos Jr., he's is he taller? Yeah, he's slightly taller, 1.5 inches. But their reach is almost identical. Actually, Teofimo's got a slight 1/2 inch reach advantage. And of course, Kambosos beat Mickey Bay and Lee Selby in his 2 last fights, but both by split decision. Those were close fights. Especially, I would say, Lee Selby won. Yeah, so Kambosos seems very confident. He should be. He's undefeated. He's coming off his two biggest victories in his career so far. But still, he he's hardly a technical fighter. He's more like an offensive fighter. And Teofimo Lopez is known for being able to handle that type of fighters very, very well. So yeah, this might well turn out to be one of the best fights of this year. However, because Kambosos seems like a tough and ready. I mean, very very durable fighter. So I don't think it will be an easy night for Teofimo, definitely. But I think he will prevail eventually. I think this may last, also into the late rounds maybe or something like that. But I think Teofimo will most likely stop this guy or yeah. But there's also a good chance that this will go the distance also. There's kind of like 60-40 chance, I would say. 60 in favor of the knockout and a later stoppage, and 40 in favor of the decision victory for Teofimo Lopez. So, yeah, I hope that after this he will fight Devin Haney and get that fourth belt, Everything seems to be going towards that. We first had, of course, in May, we had Josh Taylor being crowned the undisputed light welterweight champion. In July, we will have the fight for the undisputed championship between Jermall Charlo and Brian Castano. So this everything seems to be angled towards that. Hopefully, also at lightweight, the complete unification, crowning of one champion, which is very good, I think, for the sport, because it's not good to have too many champions in one division. I would say, is it? No, just too much chaos. All right, so as I said, Teofimo will win this fight. I would be surprised if anything else happened. Of course, you never know. A cut can always happen, of course, but still, yeah. The most likely outcome is Teofimo being victorious. Yeah, alright, and then moving on to the third and last fight of this video is, of course, Naoya Inoue, the monster, versus Michael Das Marinas. So this guy, Das Marinas, is a Filipino, so that means, they usually really come to fight and they are good scrappers, tough, usually kind of fast also. Yeah, so his alias is Hot and Spicy. That's nice. So this guy hasn't really fought. Well, he beat Karim Murphy. I've heard of him, of course, by a knockout even in 4 rounds. But other than that, he hasn't fought anyone, any famous, any notable. This guy, Das Marinas, and it will be a major step up for him, of course, fighting Inoue. He's now 32-1 with 20 knockouts. One loss by knockout, which was a long time ago, actually. Yeah, very long time, 2012. So, but still, I don't see him doing much, being able to do much against Inoue, who is really wrecking everybody, more or less everybody except Nonito. Yeah, so this will be another dominant knockout victory for the monster. I don't know when. Most likely, in the first 6 rounds, I would say, yeah, definitely, because I don't see that this guy is he can punch and all that, but I don't see that he can last that long against someone like Inoue, you know. Alright, so that was it for this time. Alright. Yeah, I think I will be back for next week also. Just a second. Yeah, then we'll have Lomachenko fighting and a few others, Erickson, Lubin, and Gervonta Davis. Yeah, alright, enough to go on. Alright, see you, bye bye, take it easy.